encouraging a lot of our friends to do the same thing. Like, you've got to be trained. Your spouse has got to be trained. My kids are trained, like, God forbid, but they're trained on how to handle a firearm competently, because God forbid that moment comes, some crazy person, which has happened before, they've shown up at our house. I want my kids to be able to defend themselves, so that's the crazy thing. We shouldn't have to live like this. I saw this tweet recently, like, only we have to live like this. And I don't want my enemies to live like this. I wouldn't wish it on their children or their spouses. And it's disgusting that is the case, but that's where we are. Another thing I'd throw out about this Google story, and this is sort of breaking here, is I am in contact with the House Judiciary Committee, and I think you're going to see a lot more on that angle very soon.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting. Very good. So, yeah, it reminds everything we're talking about here, though, by the way, guys, reminds me, we had Mike Cernovich on the show, and, after this No King stuff, and he had that great tweet where he was like, listen, you all get to have your protests, and you're not worried about snipers on some buildings. You're not worried about somebody coming up and assaulting you, because we don't do that sort of thing on our side. We're actually the safer side. We believe in law and order, open debate, open dialogue. Meanwhile, you guys are openly mocking the death of Charlie. You're antagonizing conservatives with hand gestures to the neck. We have Jolanda Jones on CNN last night on Aaron Burnett. She's running for Congress, saying that we're not going to punch you back in the face. We're going to come at your neck, across your neck. We got a student at ASU that says, watch your necks. I mean, this is the modern left, and the rise of left-wing violence and a political assassination culture that's, I think, was sparked with Luigi Maggioni as the inciting incident, but obviously that had been building behind the scenes for a long time. This is the core political and cultural issue of our current epoch, and I hate that. And we need to get to the bottom of it. And first things first, these Democrats have to be held accountable for stoking it, and on their tech platforms like Google AI. We're going to welcome back National Radio in about 10 seconds. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Robbie Starbuck and Jack Posobiec. Welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show. We have Robbie Starbuck, filmmaker, corporate activist. He's suing Google. Jack Posobiec, host of Human Events Daily. I just want to play this clip because we haven't gotten to it yet. This is Jolanda Jones. She's running for Congress in Texas, 277.
I'm from the hood, okay? So if you hit me in my face, I'm not going to punch you back in your face. I'm going to go across your neck. We need to wipe out every Republican in New York, in California, in Illinois, so no one can make me feel bad about fighting.
Oh, okay. I'm from the hood, says Jolanda. And then it's almost like, I don't know, she knew exactly what she was doing, because this seems to be a trend here, guys. Throw up B-roll. This is Lucy Martinez, who's still not been fired from her job at an elementary school. 64, please. This Lucy Martinez that was caught at the No Kings rally doing a gunshot gesture to her neck. Oh, and then, there's more. Let's play cut 226. This is at ASU, some pink-haired young lady, 226.
Hey, Nazis, can you set up somewhere where I can avoid you easily?
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.
No, you Nazi. Watch your neck.
Thanks.
Watch your necks. I mean, this is just a smattering, guys, of all of the things that we've seen at these No King. Go ahead, Jack.
One piece that I've been trying to work hard to get out there, and I mentioned this on Piers Morgan the other day as well, and didn't go quite as viral as some of the other moments from that interview. But the phrase "No Kings" itself is a phrase that derives from the French Revolution. No kings, no lords is specifically derives from the French Revolution. So the original No Kings protests are also known as the Reign of Terror, and included, of course, the ubiquitous guillotine by Maximilien Robespierre, where they were beheading public officials in the streets of Paris. So when you have a phrase like this, no kings, and then Antifa for years has used no kings, no masters. So they will say no kings, no masters as they launch these attacks on streets, on public conservatives, things like that, on churches, burning churches. So no kings, no lords. That was one of the original slogans of the Jacobins of the French Revolution, the most violent group. Then no kings, no masters gets brought up by that Antifa groups over the years and over the past few decades. And now we see the mass mainstreaming of this violent rhetoric, no kings, in the no kings protests. And so this is a phrase, again, just like Bella Ciao, just like Hey Fascist Catch, like all these other Antifa symbols and Antifa symbology that if you've been researching these groups, you're actually very familiar with. But it's now being mainstreamed on a much bigger level that people aren't familiar with. And because the media doesn't do any actual research, they don't realize the references that they're making. Actually, in the clip you just showed, they mentioned 1930s Germany. 1930s Germany, the Weimar Republic, was the first iteration of Antifa. So they know exactly what they're referencing. No kings, they know where that comes from. It means beheadings. It is violence, and it has always been violence upon which this rests upon.
And Jack and Robbie, I want to throw to you, Robbie, next, just because you're the victim of this incredible defamation, this slander campaign from an AI. But you know, what you were just talking about, Jack, it reminds me of those, we would mock it during I think in 2024, 2023, where, you know, the SPLC and the ADL had these long, elaborate databases of all the numbers that were used by white supremacists. And it was like, there was basically like
Every
numbers
single
left.
number.
Every single number was somehow coded in white supremacist lore, and we were using it
my
secretly.
kids watch number blocks. Does that make them white supremacists now?
But there is such a lack of just interest by the media to document some of these far left codings that you're seeing at these rallies.
Or was it complacency?
Yeah, it could have been complicity, but here, Robbie, the floor is yours, my friend. A minute and a half left in this segment. Let's say a minute. You know, sum up what you're going through and what you plan to do next.
Yeah, in the words of the great Poso, we watched them kill our friend, and we watched them celebrate it. Mm-hmm. And so that's constantly, I think, in a lot of our minds. Like when we wake up and go through our day, we think about what they did to Charlie and how it wasn't just one bullet. It was a whole campaign that led up to that, right? And it can be done many different ways. What we're seeing here with Google is another form of harassment, defamation, and intimidation and dehumanization that leads to violence. It encourages violence. It's incredibly dangerous. So I'm suing Google, not just for me, but to make this stop, to fix the bias in AI, in companies like Google, and to hold them accountable for what they've done. Because we don't want to wait for there to be another Charlie type of event. But we are on a path right now where there is going to be. And so it's going to take concerted effort and action from all of us. Call on your elected representatives, do something about this. You know, I think this should be one of the great issues of our time, is ensuring that AI cannot harm humans. That should be a first principle of AI. It cannot harm humans in any way.
Robbie Starbuck.
Ask your representatives to get on it.
Absolutely. Robbie Starbuck, filmmaker and activist, suing Google. Godspeed to you, my friend. Megan Basham up next.